Perfect. So hello everyone, and this is the online session for Meet the Candidates. As we discussed before, I remind you again, because it's recording now, that we're going to ask you based on the alphabetical order in the meta, that you have 5 minutes to introduce yourself, and you will tell about the same question you already asked on the meta page. Why you run for the CEE steering committee, and also in which context you can talk about your role, your experiences, and relevant expertise you had before, and also what would be the main prioritize and direction of the CEE Hub in the future. I mean, briefly, you can talk about whatever you want, but it most probably should be related to the introduction. And also after the call, after when all of you introduce yourself, we can get some question from the audience if there's a question. So based on the alphabet, I think the first one would be Arman. So Arman, please start. I need to interrupt you if it's exceed after the 5 minutes. Sorry in advance for all of you. So please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mohammed. Good evening, everyone. It's a very late evening in Armenia. My name is Arman Mirzan, and I'm from Armenia, and I'm a current member of CEE Hub Steering Committee. My Wikimedia journey started in 2011, and over the last 15 years, I'm a very active Wikimedian in Armenia. I worked as a staff member of Wikimedia Armenia. There I coordinated the Wiki Club's activities, implemented dozens of other Wikimedia projects, organized, participated in organization in many local and international events, and built partnerships through grant-funded initiatives outside our Wikimedia movement. I work as a project manager at HEDC, which is Armenia's leading investigative media outlet, investigative journalism media outlet. And I teach at universities, at Yerevan State University and Armenian National Agrarian University. I'm an assistant professor of political science, and I hope to defend my PhD. For the past year, I have had the privilege of serving on the CEE Hub Steering Committee. It has been an incredible learning experience. During my time at Steering Committee, I have gained a much deeper understanding of how the hub works, and more importantly, what our communities expect from it. And this is exactly what I decided to run for a second term. I genuinely believe that today I can contribute much more effectively than could a year ago. During my first term, I spent a lot of time listening, learning, and understanding both the strengths of the hub and the challenges we still need to address. Now I feel ready to turn that experience into even more practical contributions. One issue that has become especially important to me is expanding the financial opportunities for our communities. Across the region, I see many affiliates with excellent ideas and highly motivated volunteers and staff members, but limited access for funding. I would like to help communities strengthen their fundraising capacities, identify potential donors and partners, and explore alternative financial opportunities that can support their work in the long term. Unfortunately, during this year, we haven't received any request to us to assist them on this direction, but we had one joint grant application with Wikimedia Europe. Another priority for me is the continued institutional development of the hub. The CEE Hub has achieved a great deal in a relatively short time, especially during the last year. And I believe we should continue building on that success rather than constantly changing direction. Strong governance, transparent procedures, and clear working frameworks will help the hub to become an even more reliable and effective union. Also, transparency and openness are equally very important for me. I believe we have already made significant progress, including through this electoral process, but we should continue making the hub more accessible, accountable, and responsive to the needs of all our communities. Also, throughout my professional career, I've worked extensively with grant partnerships, and this will continue to be my priority if I elected as a steering hub as a Wikimedia CEE Hub steering committee member. For me, the CEE Hub is about collaboration, and it's about helping communities learn from each other, supporting one another, and creating opportunities that would be difficult to achieve alone. And I will be honored to continue serving on the steering committee and to use the experience I have gained during my first term. That's all, I guess. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Arman. And the next one would be Gorana. So Gorana, please.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. This reminds me of being in school and being called out by the alphabet. But good evening, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself. As I know many of you, I would like to start from the beginning. My name is Gorana Gamirec. I'm from Belgrade, Serbia, and I'm part of Wikimedia Serbia. I have been involved in the Wikimedia movement first as a volunteer. When I was studying, I wanted to gain a little bit of experience, and I got the opportunity to volunteer for Wikimedia Serbia at our local conference, and I was really intrigued by the community, by the whole idea and the whole energy behind our movement. And that's when I knew that I wanted to be involved more. After that, I became a GLA manager, and I was a GLA manager for almost 6 years. I worked with many cultural institutions. I achieved many partnerships. I worked on digitization. I coordinated and organized some of the local, of course, but regional and global activities as well. I was part of a working group of Let's Connect project. So I was really involved in many activities around the movement, not only on the local level, but regional and global ones as well. Since last year, I'm the executive director at Wikimedia Serbia, and this role really gave me a broader understanding of how our movement functions, and not only an affiliate, but why long-term planning, why is it important? Why is it important to think about sustainability, people, capacities, long-term planning, as I said, governance, strategy, and all of the other things that I was not thinking about when I was a GLA manager, unfortunately. So I really gained a whole new perspective. So I'm also part of the steering committee of the CEE Hub right now, but also a content partnership hub, and this is the first year of that hub, so I can really see the difference between the development, and it's really interesting for me to learn how everything works and how we can learn from each other. I'm running for the CEE Hub steering committee because I really believe that after this 1 year, after this mandate, I can really understand better how the steering committee works, what the hub really needs, and where I can contribute better. During this first mandate, I really learned a lot. I learned how different perspectives from different parts of the region, as we all know, CEE region is very complex, it's very diverse, but I really learned how different perspectives are balanced, how those discussions are being made, and how strategic discussions and discussions about the governance, about maybe some documentations that are not the most interesting thing in the world, but how are these discussions are being connected like with the real everyday needs of communities and affiliates. So I really have a better understanding of the hub and of the region right now. I really believe that hub should continue developing as a practical and reliable support structure for communities and affiliates in our region. Whenever event I was or activity, I really heard that the CEE Hub is a good example of how things should work. But I think that there is, of course, still room for development. I really believe that hub shouldn't become like another layer of bureaucracy in our movement, but a place where communities can turn to for support, discussion, brainstorm, peer learning, or just better understanding of how things work. And I think we are achieving that so far, but I would really love to develop that more. I would also like to work on better communication. When the last month, when we had a local conference in Belgrade, I held a session about hubs, and I asked a room full of very active Wikimedians who heard about hubs before, and only a few of them has raised their hand. So I think we have a lot of space
Sorry, Gordon,
to.
I need to interrupt you. Thank you, because the 5 minutes is already, yeah. I'm
Okay,
very sorry to
thank
interrupt
you
you, yeah, all of you,
a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah. So the next candidate is Clara, but unfortunately, she is not able to, she wouldn't be able to join. But surprisingly, she already had a video on her profile in the candidacy page. I will share it anyway, so if you are interested, you can see that. And the next candidate is Levova. And yeah, Levova, please.
Hi, I'm Lvova Anastasia. I'm from Russian Wikipedia, and I'm a Wikimedian since 2007. I think that for so many years I had different roles in the community, but for now I'm an active member of Northwest Russian Wiki Historians user group. I hate this title, but this group is good. Everything but title. Much probably if you hear something about Russian activities outside of local initiative on international level, much probably it is our user group. Well, I'm also the art agent and arbitration committee member in Russian Wikipedia. In CEE Hub, I mostly concentrated on the CEE newsletter. Probably you saw the last issue today. Also, I'm strongly participated in CEE Spring. It is so hot to talk. I don't know how you guys can talk for several minutes in such hot heat. And also, I strongly participate in CEE meeting for last years in the organization of it in program committee. So I see that many members who are already in a steering committee can talk in a good way about CEE Hub inside. It's harder for me. I try to understand the CEE Hub my best, but it's really hard. And I really like that now we start with the hub, started documented, started some governance processes. I hope that it will be continued. I hope to participate in it because I have this experience not understanding what's happening. Now it's better, but still, I really feel that it should be better. So I would like to be concentrated on it. I would like to be concentrated on communication inside the hub to know each other, to see news of each other. For myself, for now, I'm in the middle of several communities. I know what's happening in CEE Hub. I know what's happening in Wikimedia Germany. I know what's happening in Russia because we have several communities in Russia, and I know what's happening on Northern Europe. And it's interesting that many people and why the hub, especially because of communication, but still it can be better. Still, we can know each other better and understand each other better. I like the way which the hub goes for now. So I wrote in my statement that I would like to continue to go this way, to support local communities, to make the governance stronger. And well, yeah, which is the main points. I really hope that my experience in management and psychology and some marginalized experience as an immigrant between several communities may help, because I believe that diversity helps. And in my mind, the steering committee before was, well, very Western. I hope that with me it can be a little bit more Eastern. And with this diversity, I can help with new ideas, as I already did in several smaller groups related to the hub. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Levova. And the next one in the list is MD Shahinian, which is Arshad. So Arshad, please take the mic.
Yeah, hello everyone. As Mohammed said, my primary specialty is medical doctor. I'm assistant professor of a medical university. I'm from Armenia, and I'm the president of Wikimedia Armenia, and as well as my affiliates candidate for the upcoming CEE Hub Steering Committee elections. I'm happy to be here, actually. Through the course of CEE Hub's existence, I personally, as well as my affiliate, were engaged actively in a CEE Hub organized and assisted projects, events, discussions, group meetings, etc. We vigorously shared our experience and offered our help where needed. Last year, we successfully hosted a CEE Youth Group meeting in Yerevan. I'm also a part of CEE Hub's Community Capacity Working Group, one of the products of our working group where peer learning exchange program is ongoing now. And I would like to happily announce that we are one of the hosts of the Mentees in August. I think it's one of the good projects that CEE Hub actually created. Yeah. So as a candidate from the affiliate, why I'm running and what I'm going to bring to the table is, of course, region finds the relevant our experience and my experience as an executive director of my organization. During the course of 4 years of my leadership, my organization actually successfully diversified its financial resources. We achieved a better sustainability of our projects, efficiency, and youth engagement that now we find. Nevertheless, we brought these experiences a lot. I personally participated in the CEE meetings and had lectures on these topics, so shared wherever we had a possibility. But now we bring this to the table. We want to also, let's say, serve in a decision-making body of a steering committee. So that's why I'm running to be one of the candidates. I think CEE Hub did a very good job in the past years in the context of helping regional affiliates to grow, writing grants, actually, project designing projects, assist wherever we could. I think in my vision in the future of the hub as an above level structure of the affiliate, we need to more connection between regional affiliates. Most of us are doing really great Wikimedia projects that probably we are aware of, but I think we need to have a more opportunity to share our experiences in person. If I would be elected personally, I will advocate of more joint projects, in-person projects, because I see that actually there is a great efficiency of learning from in-person activities. More youth projects. We have a very good, let's say, youth people in the region that can be future leaders of our movement. So yes, my vision of the hub work would be that. So I'm happy to be here. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, I would be happy to elaborate more.
Thank you, Arshad. Thank you very much. And the next person in the list is Magda. Magda, please.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. My name is Magda Bărăscu, Maria Magdalena Bărăscu. I'm a journalist and I'm an investigator at the University of Valencia, where I focus my research on news discourse and violence against women. In the context of Wikimedia movement, I joined the movement in 2024. I was recruited by the hub to serve as a communication expert for Wikimedians of Romania and Moldova user group. And since then, I fell in love with what's happening in the movement. I'm a newcomer, and I realized I'm a vital regional connector in this user group, where I serve as a core staff pillar for the local community. I'm in the organizing committee of Wikimedia CEE meeting that will take place in Cluj this year. And it's with and proudly, I would say, through my action and through the team action, we managed to win this bid to organize CEE meeting this year in Romania, and we're very proud of this. As I was telling you, my entry into this dedicated role began via recruitment by the Wikimedia CEE hub. This background gives me a first-hand insights on how a regional hub can successfully incubate and transition personal resources. Why I'm running? I'm running because I saw what my actions through my communication role can do to a small user group, and I think it can be extended on a larger scale. The hub is the most vibrant hub of the movement. It's so diverse, it's culturally rich, and what I can bring at first hand is joy. I was talking today to somebody, and it's amazing how we can do this through our actions in the movement, how we can bring joy to the people in the movement. I'm running for the steering committee because I believe the CEE hub is the crucial turning point and it needs leadership. Through my action, I'll ensure the steering committee decisions, strategic directions, and budget allocation are communicated clearly and regularly to the community. And I'll maintain an open door policy where the any CEE, Wikimedian, or affiliate feels empowered to bring ideas, criticism, or proposals directly to the hub leadership. I bring a lot of the table through my experience as a journalist and as a communicator. I identified several issues that can be improved in our region, and I think all of us who are here and who are contributing and are running for this are already doing an amazing job just by being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Magda. The next one would be Papaos Martins, but I cannot see him in the chat, in the call. So I will put his candidates in the chat. If you are interested, you can look at it later. And the next one would be Vera Pinkiesel, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vera, and my username is Pinkiesel from, because on the screen it doesn't show, but it's from this little finger. So, yes, I'm a member of Slovenian user group, and I'm Wikipedian now for about more than 20 years now, yes. And since the last meeting in Thessaloniki, I have been serving on the CEE Hub Steering Committee for a year now, where one of my main tasks and my task of my working group was launching CEE Peer Learning Exchange. Arshak already talked about, so it was like a spoiler, Arshak. Okay, yes. This is ongoing currently, and well, my community is very small, with a small number of volunteers, and we don't have any budget. And this gives me first-hand experience of the challenges that smaller community face. I have software engineer background that helps me that my community stays up to date with all technical innovation. This is my prime goal, to work with modules, info boxes, citations, whatever. So outside Wikimedia, I work with one NGO that supports people with disabilities, where I work with finances and volunteers. And I also teach digital skills to seniors in my local community now for the past 10 years. So I'm multitasking. Yes, but in a month, I will reach retirement age. So I will have a lot more time for CEE Hub, Slovenian Wikipedia. So, but okay. And through my work with the steering committee over these past years, I have learned how to navigate our region, you know, sometimes with a map and sometimes with a lot of patience. Yes. About my motivation, why I want to be a part of steering committee. Well, for running for this term is the people, you know. The CEE Hub staff and its steering committee is a bunch of very positive people that struggling to work or to volunteer in this crazy world we are now in this very diverse region. I think I can help build a healthier and respectful community environment. So, and conflicts and creating a positive atmosphere do not happen, you know, automatically. They require a constant care and active work. And I would like to contribute especially to the areas of community support and connecting smaller communities within our region. And about what CEE Hub should focus on, I believe that we should continue focusing on community building and technical advancement of our communities. And we should help to share practical experience, you know, that successful ideas from one communities can be adapted by others. We don't need to invent anything new, really. And well, because I have a lot of experience with working with volunteers, and I understand how important motivation and practical support is, I would be happy to continue supporting CEE Hub in these areas. So that's from my side.
Thank you, but I couldn't find the button to unmute myself. So the next one in the list would be soccer. Martin, please. I also shared the candidacy page in the chat.
So hello everyone, Marcin Cieślak. I first have to say thank you to Wikimedia Polska for nominating me for this. This is a great privilege and an honor. I've been member of a chapter for many years, but I think this is as better as unique position here, which we can establish a very good connection as we have now between the fiscal sponsor and our chapter and the hub itself. So this is one areas which I would like to work on. Magda said she would like to work on the Joy apartment, and I really liked this idea. So if I would propose something from myself, it's the other department, which is doing things which nobody likes to do, like no Joy department, and especially. I'm inspired here. There is an Indian god called Ganesha. I don't know, maybe some of you see them. This is the one with the elephant head instead of the real head. And the Ganesha is a god of removal of obstacles. So this is something I really would like to focus on. It's identifying things which could work better, which we could improve, and especially helping others to do things. I believe steering committee should be more focused on setting policies and organizing the work of hub and letting communities and also our wonderful employees do the work properly. And just identify problems, remove them. We have many issues in our region. It's not only our wonderful diversity, which we adore, and but also we have a major war in our region. Some people are not allowed to travel between some countries in the region. Some people are forced to travel and leave a country in our region, and we should be aware of this, and we should make sure we are able to find solutions to keep coherence of our community, even in these tough times. And this is a major challenge I see right now here. What's, for example, the reason I think I was the only foreign participant for conferences in Ukraine during last 2 years. I went to Kharkiv and twice to Kiev, and I will continue to do so as much as I can to support the community directly there. And I think it means a lot to people to see that we come and we are with them, even in difficult times. So I come from business, actually. I'm a crazy, I'm a programmer, so I write code and do stuff, but I'm business consultant and I work for major companies. So I can deal with legal issues, especially like US law, Polish law, whatever we need, European Union law. I can deal with accounting and help with this. One of the goals I want to have is to make reporting and grant getting as easy as editing a web page for many community members, just to edit something and it's done. You have a report. You don't have to think about preparing reports and things like this. We should make it as easy as possible. Also to make possible that also individual persons can easily access funds. I also would like to see more cross projects across borders, like process around river, like Dniester, for example, around mountains, and not only about country borders and affiliate borders. We should work to make sure our region grows together and not split across language or political borders. And as we know, political borders can unfortunately change, and we are seeing this right now. So anything with lobbying, with accounting, with law, with internal governance, I'm very happy to work on this, and we should make it as smooth as possible for others, for communities to grow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sapir. And we'll go for Shahan.
Hello, everyone. Hi. It's good to see so many familiar faces and new faces. I hope everyone is having a great Friday night. It's almost 10 p.m. here in Yerevan. So to anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Shahin. I'm currently based in Yerevan, Armenia. I'm one of the co-founders of the Western Armenian Language User Group. I have had the privilege of serving in the steering committee for the past year, since basically the CEE meeting in Thessaloniki last year. Before I get into my wiki stuff, I currently work as the partnerships lead at the TUMO Center for Creative Technologies, which is a global education network that's headquartered in Yerevan, founded and headquartered in Yerevan, and has 21 franchises outside of Yerevan, including in a lot of CEE countries and cities right now. In terms of the Wikipedia journey, I've been an active editor for the past 11 years now, and have been a part of many discussions. My first Wikimania was when I was 18. I gave a little lightning talk. It was very intimidating, but it was fine. Four of the main agenda items that I want to propose are the following. One is more transparency from the steering committee to the larger region, because the steering committee does get a lot of things done. I just don't know if it's communicated enough to the rest of the region. And it's impressive, and not to toot our own horns, but it is a lot of things that are getting done. Two is the future of the CE meeting. This is something that I've pitched as a submission for the CE meeting itself this year as a roundtable, because a lot of really important topics are often discussed at the CE meeting, but not a lot of continuity is guaranteed. And there's a lot of gaps in between from CE meeting to another CE meeting. The third big pitch that I have for the next steering committee and my role in the next steering committee is more youth involvement. The 2024 Community Insights Survey says that the largest group of editors are between the ages of 18 to 24. So it does feel like, and this is not a flex when I say this, when I say I'm the youngest person in the steering committee, it's not a flex. It has to be alarming and a wake-up call. So we need to have a little more representation in terms of age gaps, because there's a lot of youth initiatives being carried out in the CE region, behind the scenes and sometimes on the stage itself. And the fourth suggestion that I have for the upcoming steering committee, and if I have the privilege to be in it, is more representation for underrepresented communities and or endangered communities, one of which I am a part of. I also want to talk about some of the achievements I helped craft in the past year as a steering committee member myself. I helped draft the conflict of interest policy for the CE region, which is now up on our meta page. We're currently finalizing and ratifying the augmentation policy, which clarifies what the CE Hub deals with in terms of geographic location, because it's a little blurry right now. I am the lead of the youth group, which has currently selected Wikimedia Serbia and Belgrade as their host city for the next meetup, independently without staff and steering committee intervention. And I am the co-lead of the CE meeting working group and the co-lead of the governance working group, which helped come up with the election cycle and approach that we currently are using right now. That's all from me. If you have any questions, I don't know if we have time, but if we don't have time, my email is on my user page. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you so much, Shahan. So the next one would be Tony Sant. Please, Tony.
Okay, thank you so much. It's lovely to be here with you all this evening. And I say this because, you know, I'm very, very pleased that we are having these elections. But anyway, let me answer the questions, which is, you know, I started working in the Wikimedia movement back in 2010. So it's 16 years now since I started working with higher education first, relating mainly to my job. I'm an associate professor of fine art. And so some of this is how I ended up being interested in Wikimedia work. I also worked for the Wikimedia UK chapter at that time for a few years, leading even into the organization of Wikimania in 2014 in London. I was part of the very large team that organized that. But I only worked there until about 2016, which is when I happened to be in Malta. And at that time, I was involved in co-creating the Malta Wikimedia User Group, which is not only an affiliate, but also soon started exploring how we would take part in the CE Spring. We started doing this in 2019 when CE Hub did not exist. Started full participation in CE Spring in 2020, which is roughly about the time when the CE Hub became a thing. This is how Malta became a member of the CE Hub at that time. The Hub was still information. And because of this, I was also invited to be on the steering committee, the first steering committee that was created for the CE Hub. And so I've been involved with the steering committee for as long as it has existed. And so I'm one of the few people who are still around within the steering committee who can kind of relate to the history of where we've come from. I've been chairing the steering committee since March 2025, and I was reappointed unanimously the second time in September 2025, that is last year, to be the chair, which of course I still am as we speak. I mean, I'm tasked with chairing the next meeting of the steering committee, which is on the 1st of July. My key contribution while I've been in the steering committee, I think, especially most recently, has been providing leadership within the steering committee and the hub more broadly for the creation of an election system for the steering committee. And this is why my enthusiasm at the beginning for this, you know, I mean, this is based on my longstanding leadership, governance, and facilitation experience. And this is what brings us here today, really, isn't it? It's the election. I'm running in this election to hope, in the hope of being able to continue to offer an opportunity for everyone, myself included, for some substantial continuity on the steering committee, including revising and improving the electoral system. We are observing the ins and outs of the electoral system quite closely, and even this evening is part of that exercise. So anyway, thank you all very much. I hope that some of this helps you decide whether to vote for me or not.
Thank you, Tony. And the last candidate in the list is Wojciech. Wojciech, please.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Wojciech, which is a traditional Polish name with over a millennium of history. And since it's Polish, I'm okay with people mispronouncing it, and I'm totally fine with it. I've been a Wikimedian for almost 20 years. This December will mark my 20th anniversary. So I can say I've been a content creator for the last 20 years. I've been a content creator even before it was cool. Much of my time I've been a text content creator, including the Guinness World Record attempt. But recently, in the recent years, much of my content creation is graphical because I take concert photos. And I do believe in the multimedia text and audio and video and pictures nature of the Wikimedia projects. Throughout these 20 years, I've been an editor primarily. I like to think of myself as primarily a community member, but I've also taken on governance roles. I've been on the steering committee. I've been invited by one of the founding figures, one of the founding fathers, actually, during the research phase, and I've stayed ever since. And I do believe that the hub is important. It's important in a few ways. So first of all, it's a consolidating thing. It consolidates the big affiliates with history, with grants, with staff, with a lot of backup possible, and the smaller user groups without those resources. So the hub can and should serve as a consolidating factor for the big and the small, for the diverse Central and Eastern European region, to also be the sort of middle level between those communities and the foundation. I think that with its voice, the hub, on one hand, speaks the language of the local communities, literally and figuratively, because the diverse composition of the hub also reflects the diversity of the region and the way of thinking of the people in the region. But with its learning, with its growth, it also has a fixed place in the big ecosystem of Wikimedia, in what I call the Wikiverse. And that's also the third thing. We were the first hub to ever be created. So I would like the hub to continue in its governance practices, in its community support practices, in its intermediary practices, to be a model. I want this to be the best hub possible, and to be the model for the future, for future hubs like ours. And one of the things that I can throw into the composition of the hub is I tend to listen. So even though I do have my own opinions, my own ways of thinking, I'm happy to listen to other people. I'm happy to listen to reason, and I'm happy to collaborate on reasonable ideas to make them better and better, and to make them the best.
Thank you, Wojciech. Thank you so much. I think the reason of having this call, it would be to give some idea to the parties, to the people who want to vote, to which one of you is better. But I think after this call, I cannot make a decision because you were perfect, to be honest. I shouldn't say that. It's not professional, but this is the truth. And I think at this moment, if you have any question from each other, I think you can ask. Yes, no.
Well, I have a question, not as an electoral commission member, but as a community member who is also affiliate member. So, I would like to make up my mind, and maybe my questions will also help others. So I have a question to the people who are running, who are already steering committee members and are running now, so current, well, to the 6 people that we have, because Clara is not here. So what is one thing you would like to change in how the steering committee works now? You have been doing it for a bit, so now the first meeting you are elected, you join again, and now, you know, it can stay the same. So what is one thing that you would like to change?
So we can go with the same alphabetical order. Yeah, Armin, maybe.
Actually, I'm still thinking about it, about the answer. It's a bit difficult. Maybe someone else will answer, and then I will go back because I need to think about it.
So any other member, if you want to just open your mic and answer that.
Maybe I can answer.
Okay, but just a second. Maybe I'll ask the people who are new one, like the question to them, so they can think.
Okay.
They can think while, you know. So my question to the people who are running for the first time.
For the first time, sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, I'm just going to give more time for people to think. So for people who are running for the first time, I mean, you haven't been on the steering committee, so you're looking at it from the outside and you have some notions about it, which might be true, might be not. It's difficult to say. So what is your plan of action for your first steering committee meeting? You have been elected a steering committee member and now you're joining. So what's your plan of actions? You can think about it and then answer, or maybe you can put it in the chat, like, you know, what's working for you, and then you can maybe read it. But I think that it will give you a bit more time. And then Vera, or whoever is going to be next in order.
Yeah, Marcin is already raised his hand, so we can say. But just to keep everything in order, let's say the maximum time for the answer should be 1 minute, so 60 seconds would be enough. So Marcin, please.
Let me try 30. I'm going through documents and reports and grant documents, and it's not easy to find, not easy, should be more visible, should be accessible, should be easy to understand. One simple thing I want to work on. Second thing, give more power to CHub employees. Steering copies should be just steering and giving guidelines and general direction, and we should empower our staff to do more. But two simple things I can quickly. Thank you.
Yeah, but you are a new person who is joining. So the question to you is, what is your plan for action for your first steering committee meeting? You are joining, you don't know these people, you haven't worked as a steering committee member. What's your plan of action? Like, what are you going to do during the first meeting? Because this is a governance thing. It's, you know, again, how are you joining a new team? What's your approach to that?
No, first we will have to decide on the internal structure. That's who is running as a chair, and define groups which are going to work. I think this is going to be crucial. I think SC is kind of large right now, which is good for representation, but maybe a challenge. So I think like 3 people groups should be clearly defined to address issues, and that's which we first start to get the internal governance right and make it effective.
Okay, thank you. I guess Vera is now.
Well, in this year, as a newcomer, you know, I understand the position of now a newcomer. I was like fish in the, I don't know, not on the water, in the water, on the land, you know. There was a lot of big words inside it, and I need to decipher email with AI because I couldn't understand, you know. We have a great era now that we have AI for such, let's see, not to create, but to, you know, where there is a word like, that was the first time I hear a word was augmentation, you know. I couldn't even pronounce it, and it was like a lot of such words. So I would like that newcomers are more welcome, you know. Maybe mails for dummies, it's a little funny, but okay. But I have an excellent body, so this body system should be more effective. Tony was my body, and whenever I need it, he was there. So don't be scared. it will go. A little confusion at the start, but later on, it's not a problem. As I said before, this is a bunch of people with good intentions. We all try to do our best, and don't afraid to make mistakes. So I would like that these big words are somehow vanished from our mailing lists. Okay. That's from my side.
Thanks. Tony?
Thank you, and thank you, Vera. I mean, part of what I'm proposing, in fact, lines up a little bit with what Vera was just saying, because I think this buddying system should be broadened in the sense that there should be more visibility, if not transparency. Of course, we always talk about being open and transparent, but I think the work of the steering committee needs to be more visible. It has been significantly inward looking, I think, over the last recent years and since it's existed. And I think we are beginning to try to do some of that by even creating, a very democratic way to have people on the steering committee. So for me, the change is to also make that work more visible in a way, that transparency is not just one of these words that perhaps Vera is talking about, but transparency is less of a big word, but it's a big concept, right? So simplifying it in a way that, what does that mean? Let's make our work more visible to people.
Arman? Thank you. Tony?
Yeah, I just remember one thing, and it's not something to change, but it's a direction on which we should work more and put more efforts. It's about restarting the discussions of the legally registration of the CEE Hub as an organization, because it puts limits on our activities. We cannot apply to grants or other things because we are not a legally registered entity or organization, and this limits our work. So I know that in previous terms of steering committee, there were discussions, they even researched it, in which country they can register this organization, but I think we should restart on thinking on this direction.
Thank you. Magda?
Thank you very much for the question. I think as a newcomer, it will be useful and thoughtful, first of all, to listen to the needs of the communities in our region. And I think one of the first steps and one of the first occasion, it will be CEE meeting in Cluj, where we'll gather a lot of the communities from our region, and it will be a good place, a good starting point to listen to their needs, and from that moment on to narrow the focus on 3 or 4 key pillars for this new term of the steering committee, and then discuss on capacity building and on knowledge sharing, first of all, as main priorities. And one of the first thing that I will like to underline is what Shahan said, the importance of young people in the hub and their roles, the roles that they play, to be a little bit highlighted more. Yes, that will be. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Magda.
Thank you. Anybody else ready with the answer? Wojciech.
Yeah, Anastasia, go
I
ahead.
didn't say anything.
Yeah,
okay.
Anastasia. Yeah.
So I'm a newcomer, so I'm answering on the question for newcomers. For me, it is very natural because I already, learn everything I know about CEE Hub in this way. So as a psychologist, I know how to listen, and as a psychologist, I know how to ask questions. So seriously, I thought that it's fun because usually I ask people that are not here for now, but I asked a lot in the CEE Hub. And not so psychological, but before the meeting, I'm going to read everything that's available to read and ask everyone who will be available to ask. Then listen, then ask again. And it is visible in my application that I'm not going to suggest a lot from the beginning. I'm not going to suggest a lot right now, just because exactly I think it is important to understand what's happening because before trying to change something. And for now, I think it's not available enough to understand it enough to suggest changing immediately. So for first meeting, and maybe not even for the first one, the best strategy for me is listen and ask.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else? And I think it was a glitch on my Google Meet, where it was like as if Wojciech was lifting his hand.
So I think there is no more question or respond. Yeah.
Well, to actually address with the Natalia's glitch, I'm in a weird position as far as your questions go, because I am hopefully returning member to the steering committee, so I would not be able to answer either of these questions.
No, once you leave a body, you are going to be a newcomer. You have missed all the conversations that they had for the past, year. You are a new member. You might have returned, but it's going to be a different. This is going to be a different steering committee.
Yeah, I understand it will be different. I do understand it will be different. So I would probably be, I would still be filtering my initial experience through what the committee was like when I was leaving it, and I would like to see, I would like to see people prepared for the agenda, people having read all the pre-reading materials and all the requirements for the meeting, which I have observed some people not do in the various committees that I have been part of, because I've been a part of a few. So I would like, if I can answer your question from the perspective of someone who has served on committees and who is rejoining or joining this one, I would like to see a conversation flow within the committee that actually says, I have prepared for my volunteer role, and I'm not just stepping in for the meeting, almost blindly.
Yeah, that hurts.
So I think we can finish the call also. Thank you everyone for joining. A special thanks to Maciej, if I pronounced you right, for the recording and providing the new link for this call. I don't know how to stop it. If you have access, or maybe I have also. Yeah.